What up, what up? Welcome to Mr. Brown's class, where there's no whining or no complaining. We're on lesson 31, adding integers and collecting like terms. Let's look at this first one. Why don't you pause it and see if you can answer this on your own. Okay, if the temperature in the morning is -4 degrees, let's write that down. But it increases, what is increase? It's adding 10 degrees. Okay, by noon. Then what is the temp at noon? Okay. All right, so think about it on a number line. You're at -4. Well, to get to 0, okay, you have to add how many? 4. All right. So then we're almost, so we go 4 moves. Now we have to go 6 more to be 10. So our answer is going to be 6 degrees. Now another way that you can do it is that you're adding a positive and a negative. So we're going to subtract 10 minus 4. Okay, and whichever number is bigger, 4 or 10, we're going to use that number, or that sign. So since that bigger number is positive, we're going to leave this positive. Okay, if it was the other way around, let's say that it was 4 plus a -10. All right, see how they have different signs? The bigger one's negative, so the answer to this would be -6. All right, so Sam owes a friend $5. That means that she has -$5. But she wins, which is adding 15. How much money does she have after paying her friend? All right, well, same thing. Okay, which one's bigger, the positive or negative one? The positive, so we're going to leave it positive. How much bigger is 15 than 5? 10. So she has $10 left over. Let's see if you can do these on your own. Okay, -6 plus 2. 6 plus a -2. -6 plus a -2. And -6 plus a +6. You pause them and see if you can do this one on your own. Okay, so just like up here, which one's bigger? We're adding two different signs, a negative plus a positive. Okay, the bigger one is negative. All right, how much bigger is 6 than 2? 4. That's our answer. Okay, again, 6 plus a -2. Which one's bigger? The positive, so our answer is going to be positive. How much bigger is 6 than 2? 4. Now, if they have the same sign, we're adding, it's going to be negative or positive. So if we did 6 plus 2, we all know that that would be 8. Well, -6 plus a -2 would be -8. All right, now you have -6 plus a +6. Well, they're the same, just different sides. So that's going to be 0. They cancel each other out. Okay, so you should be good at this by now after last year. Okay, now this is going to be the hard part of the lesson. Okay, putting together like terms. Okay, so we first need to know what a term is. A term is anything that's being multiplied together. So if we have 3y, that's a term. All right, if we have x, that's a term. Let's change colors. So x, that's a term. Okay, if we have -3x squared, that's a term. All right, if we have, let's look, x squared y, that's one big term. Okay, if we have -2, That's a term. All of these are terms. Now, if we add them, let's put a plus in between each one. Okay, they're each their own term. All right, that's one term, another term. So anything that's like being multiplied together, that's a term. Now, we also need to know what a coefficient is. Okay, the coefficient, okay, is the number in front of the variable. All right, so if we have 3y, okay, the coefficient is 3. Okay, that's the coefficient. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Let's say that we have negative x. The coefficient, there's an imaginary -1 here. So our coefficient in this one, okay, the coefficient is -1. All right, so if it's just this, our coefficient is a +1. All right, so always remember that, there's always an if there's no number in front of a letter, there's always an imaginary 1. Okay, what do you think the coefficient for this one is? Yeah, correct. All right, let's put C equals 1. The coefficient equals 1. There's an imaginary 1 right there. All right, what's the coefficient for this one? Good, the coefficient is 3, the number in front of there. What about this one? Yep, -1. All right, because there's an imaginary -1 in front of there because there was no number. So we just simplify things in math. So we know that there's a 1 there. Okay, I'm going to do a lot of these examples because I know this is going to be tough. Okay, now what I like to do when we're adding, when we're putting things together, we can only put x's with other x's. We can only put non-variable numbers together with non-variable numbers. So we can only put this 3x with this -1x. Okay, remember that that's a -1 there. All right, so we're going to rearrange it using the commutative property. So 3x plus a -1x. All right, and then we have this +2 and this +3. So 2 plus 2 plus 3. All right, remember that we look at the sign in front of the number. That tells us if we're what it is. Remember that we can always change subtraction into adding a negative. All right, so this is 2x plus 5. And that's all you can do. All right, you're done. And that's the hardest part about this is that it doesn't look done to most of you because we've always gotten down to one thing equaling something. We're just simplifying now. All right, now notice how I put these circles and squares around things. It helps me. Okay, organize. Okay, so we have a 3x. And we have a negative what? A -1x. So let's write that down. 3x plus a -1x. Now we have a positive 2yx and a positive what? A 1yx. All right, so let's put that in different color. So we got this, goes with that. Okay, so we have 2yx plus 1yx. So what is this? Well, that's 2x. What is this? 3yx. All right, then we're done. Okay, we cannot put this together with that, okay, because this has a y in it, and this does not have a y in it. So we have to keep only identical things together, all right? That's the only way we can add them together. Okay, a couple more. Really pay attention to this because this gets hard. Okay, so notice how we have a 6x squared. You see any other x squares? No. So we can't put that together with these x's because they don't have a square. All right, now we have a negative 1x plus a 2x. Well, what's negative 1 plus 2? Correct. A positive 1x, which we could just write x. And when you type this into Schoology, don't put the 1x there. Just put x. And then you see any other lonely numbers? Nope. So that's our answer. Ugly. It's correct. All right, let's look at this one. See if you can do this one on your own. Okay, so let's circle the things that are a to the third. Here's an a to the third. Here's an a to the third. And we know that that's a 1. This is just an a. That cannot go with the a to the thirds. So 2a to the third plus a negative 1a to the third. Okay, now let's circle or square all the b's. Put a square around all the b's. All right, again, that's lonely out here. So we have positive 3b plus negative 4b plus lonely a. All right, what's this? This is easy. 3a to the third. Notice how I don't do anything with the exponents. That's what people mess up all the time. Keep the exponents the same. That's only changing them when we multiply or divide. All right, now we look at this. All right, we have a negative b. Now, it's a negative 1b, but remember, don't type that in. Okay, plus a. And again, that's our answer. We cannot put that a with that a to the third. Everybody have a nice night. Remember, be more awesome.